John Bucket Time! Hey, everybody, welcome into Stoppage Time. It is our betting show. Actually, it's an entertainment show that we have provided for you. Everybody out there who's looking to be entertained, to have their mind taken away from them for whatever they're going through in their lives. But if you're looking for a wager, you've come to the right place because my man Buckets is hot as fuck right now. And I'm not talking about the way he looks. How you doing, Buckets?
Well, I think you're also talking about the way I look because, I mean, come on, Ian, let's be honest. But yes, man, I'm doing well. Most importantly, I am alive, so I'm happy about that. But second, yeah, we've been absolutely crushing it lately here on Stoppage Time, and it felt pretty good to hit the tickets we hit this week.
Okay, before we get into the serious stuff, we got to talk about how you are, Buckets, because once again on social media, I saw a very serious post from you, and I don't want to make fun of a serious situation, but I'm just going to say this for the loyal listeners out there, the freaks of our show, Stoppage Time, that you went on a third date, and by the end of that third date, you ended up in the hospital and fucking posted this picture. What the fuck has gone on in your private life? And what the fuck happened on that third date?
Well, let me just be honest with you guys because that's what we've always been with our loyal listeners. I am 99% sure that I did not get poisoned on that date. I do want to say that. But when I went to the hospital, one of the questions they asked me when they were going through the test, they go, John, is there anybody out there who would want to hurt you? And I was thinking through all the comments of people, getting a little bit feisty. I was thinking about maybe my date didn't have as good of a time as I thought she had and, slipped something extra into the Italian food that I made for us both. But no, the date went fine. Just fine. I will say that. But I'm not there. There's no correlation between the hospital and the date. I don't think, at least, Ian.
Okay, let's discuss the seriousness of what actually happened to you because you were in hospital. We saw the picture. We can see the picture now once again. You had wires coming out of you. What happened?
So I went to the gym because I'm on this little, fit kick right now, trying to be my best self, get in the best shape I can. I was on the treadmill. I was feeling good. See, I got to look like that, Ian. That's the goal. But I'm on the treadmill running. I'm like, ooh, I'm feeling a little bit dizzy, and my chest is kind of hurting. And then I woke up about 15 seconds later on the ground, and I don't know how I got there. And I'm surrounded by all these, of course, beautiful people at the gym checking in on me. And I was just like, oh, this isn't normal. And long story short, I ended up having to go to the ER, end up being in the ER for 5 or 6 hours. We have a lot of heart problems in my kind of genetics and my family line. So anytime they have a heart-related issue, they're a little more intense on that. But I'm okay. I'm here. They thought it was, I don't know all the fancy doctor words, man. They thought it was baby heart attack. It ended up just being high something or other, but I'm okay. I'm feeling good. I'm back. They said I have to reduce stress for my life, and I told them I work with Ian. That is not possible, but I'll do my best here.
Nothing to do with licking the salt alongside Freya.
I did not lick the salt. She's staring at me right now because she knows we're talking about her. Freya licked the salt. I did not lick the salt.
Hey, listen, in all seriousness, I'm glad you're okay. Obviously, you put the message out there and the reaction was phenomenal. I mean, clearly people absolutely care about you. And I hope you feel the love from the loyal listeners out there. Do you have a message for the loyal listeners? I mean, because so many people reached out because you tagged me in pictures. And obviously, I was also commenting on the picture as well. But so many people give a fuck, man.
So many people, yeah, give a damn about me, which feels really good because it shows just how much we've done in the space here. And this is not the kind of a thing where like I go, hey guys, I'm going to be gone for a couple days and I'm getting comments like, damn it, where's my bets? Come on, we got to. No, it was people being like, hey, how are you? How can I help? How's Freya? How's IPJ? How's Jeff doing? Everyone knew that Jeff was super worried about me behind the scenes. So want to say thank you to all of the loyal listeners, all the freaks out there. I'm back. I'm feeling good. And I'm ready to get going, man.
Producer Jeff was worried because his Borussia Dortmund shit the bed this weekend. We can discuss that in just a minute. Anyway, we don't have much time for chatting because today is going to be a special day. We knew it was going to happen, and it fucking happened. My man, John Bucket Timer, went on the heater. Let's get into the weekend review, Buckets. Please run through your bets. Don't feel free to, slow down, speed up, whatever you want to do. This is your moment because you absolutely fucking nailed it this weekend. Well done.
Man, thank you so much. We have been on the cusp of nailing it and hitting this heater for so many weeks now, and it was good to finally break through. We started on Thursday with the exact same Europa League bet we did the previous week. Roma versus Feyenoord, both teams to score. Nailed it again, a game that ended 1-1 with about 200 shots in it, but all we had was the BTTS. That's all we cared about. Moving to Friday, Bologna versus Hellas Verona. I said Bologna over 1.5 team total. This team is too damn good right now to fade. They won 2-0. Bang, a perfect start for us. Then we went to Saturday, and Saturday was my one and only loss of the entire week. It was FC Kaiserslautern versus Karl. I think that they were mad that I said their name wrong on the show because they proceeded to score 4 goals in the second half, but Kaiserslautern could not contribute. We lost the both teams to score and over on that one, but we bounced back immediately with Cagliari versus Napoli, both teams to score, cashed it. Coventry versus Maidstone United, over 1.5 goals in the first half. Coventry, thank you, cashed it. And then we went to our final bet on Tuesday, Ian, and this is a bet that is very, very special to me and near and dear to my heart. Luton Town versus Manchester City. Luton Town over 1.5 team total at plus 400. And we even said to everybody last week that they might lose this game 2-5 or 2-6. They lost the game at 2-6, but Luton Town did exactly what we thought they would do. Scored 2 and then just got the piss beaten out of them. But I went 5-1 with a plus 400 cash. That's a damn good week, Ian.
You know what? We went, obviously, and produced a WTF bet, which we haven't done for such a long time. The loyal listeners, the freaks of our show, they demand sometimes the long odds, and you didn't disappoint. I'm proud of you because not many people are brave enough to go into the plus regions of 3 and 4 and 500. But this was something you were feeling. It's something you studied. I made fun of you, and then guess what happened? Producer Jeff made fun of me. Roll the fucking clip, Jeff.
Tuesday is going to be my equivalent of the what the F bet or the bonkers bet or the I have a feeling bet, but I'm going to give everyone a plus 400 wager here. I'm looking at Luton Town over 1.5 goals team total at plus 400. Maybe they lose 2-4, 2-5, 2-6, 2-6, 2-6. You have Luton Town, who are obviously nowhere good as Manchester City. It's not even close. But my word, does Luton Town just play with this we don't give a damn about anyone mentality? And I absolutely love that. Man City's not going to give them the respect that they deserve, and they might get caught on the wrong foot here more than once.
13 games. I'm just looking at their games. Manchester City, the last 13 games. How many times have they conceded more than 1 goal in the last 13?
Once.
Yeah, 1 time.
Yep.
And you think Luton are going to score too?
I'm just saying, next time when we're filming this show next week and I'm bragging about cashing this plus 400, I hope that everyone joins me.
Once again, producer Jeff delivering the fucking goods, man. Make sure you're following across our social media platforms, in particular on X, where Buckets has been very active, and on Instagram. We're also out there on Instagram, so go follow away. Buckets, how does it feel, man? Obviously, producer Jeff is producing magic with the clips, but it must feel fucking good when you get to put a clip like that out there, and you're proving pretty much everybody wrong, including myself.
Man, first of all, Jeff, thank you. Absolute killer behind the scenes. But yeah, that feels so good because that's the kind of wager where I'm either going to look like the smartest guy in the room or I'm going to look like an absolute moron. And I thought for a second, this is going to be a tough bet, but no, spot on. Everything I said would happen did happen. Ian, it has now happened twice in their last 14 games. Luton Town pulls through. I needed that one. That felt so good.
You know what? I may make fun of you, but I do always back you, John Bucketimer, because not only did I go for both teams to score in that game, I also went for Luton Town over 1.5 team total, and I hit it. I was a little bit late. I told you, everybody out there, that the line would move. It did. I got it plus 360. I will take it, and I saw many a ticket out there from our loyal listeners who cashed that ticket as well. But it wasn't just John Bucketimer who was successful this fucking weekend. The Joy Boy was back in the win column. Let me run through the best bet from this weekend. I had the bounce back parlay coming your way. And of course, it was Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest. It was Bournemouth against Manchester City. I had Villa and City both to win in that game. It was plus 17. And yeah, I managed to bounce back in a big way. Aston Villa got the 4-2 victory thanks to Ollie Watkins, who opened the score in 4 minutes into the game. David Luiz was incredible in that game. Douglas Luiz, excuse me. He was brilliant in that game, got a couple of goals before Leon Bailey wrapped things up. Few stats that came out of that game. Only Mohamed Salah has scored more Premier League home goals this season than Douglas Luiz, who has scored 9 Premier League goals, which is absolutely ridiculous now. And guess what? For Ollie Watkins, he is chasing records. The most goal involvements in a single Premier League campaign for Aston Villa. Dwight York with 27 back in 95-96 Buckets. Has no fucking clue who Dwight York is. Legend for Manchester United. Also, Ollie Watkins is sitting on 24 goal involvements in the Premier League this season. 24 is absolutely insane. Ollie Watkins is doing the business. So is Manchester City right now. It only took one goal. Buckets texted me during this game and said maybe we need two. We only needed the one because Phil Foden got that goal. He has now scored 16 goals for Manchester City in all competitions this season. His joint most in a single campaign, along with what he did in 2020-21 season. How about this, though, Buckets? Ederson has now kept more Premier League clean sheets, 110, than any other goalkeeper in Manchester City's history, overtaking the legendary Joe Hart. So, first win in 4 for me. I went 3 back-to-back without a victory, so this felt fucking good. I'm now 4-4 since the return of the show. Buckets, I did well.
You did very well. And this is the kind of stuff that Ian consistently does on these shows together. He does not back away. When he's had a couple losses in a row, he doesn't go, let me find some comfortable minus 160 so I can get back in the win column. No, straight to a plus 120 parlay. That is exactly what I expect out of IPJ. And it was good to get us both back in the win column here.
I felt so fucking good, Buckets. I felt so good. You know what I decided to do? I decided to give giveaway time. What do you think about that? I decided that I was going to go and give away some of my winnings. So after the comeback win, obviously the parlay bounced back for me nicely. I put this tweet out there. I said, $100 giveaway. The boys, Buckets, John Betts, and Joy Pauline are giving away $100 to one lucky loyal listener. The rules were you've got to retweet this tweet, comment on the YouTube why you should win, and subscribe to YouTube. You must also prove all three. So I found it incredibly difficult. I mean, we got some awesome messages, awesome replies, a lot of people out there retweeting. It wasn't crazy. There wasn't people who were desperate for money just jumping involved. There was a lot of good loyal listeners out there, but I found it so goddamn difficult to pick a winner. I decided to turn to Hot Coco for some help. PJ, throw it away.
What's up, everybody? Hot Coco here. I am here to announce the $100 giveaway winner. It was super hard. We went through all the comments. There were some really great comments. But if you stood out, producer Jeff, you were one of them. You absolutely deserve this $100. You actually deserve all the money for all the great work you do on FCStoppageTime, but unfortunately today is not your day. Mark, you also stood out because you offered to use the $100 to put towards one of your bets, and when it does hit, you were going to use half of the winnings to donate. Love that idea. Keep paying it forward. Today, though, the winner is going to be Blake Grandson. He is going down to Miami this weekend to officiate his buddy's wedding. Very exciting for you. Hope you have a great weekend. You're going to use this $100 to maybe cover one of your tabs while you're down there. So cheers, have one on us. And actually, speaking, Ian, I'm empty.
Fucking unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, she should have a bell, like one of those little ringy bells that you have when you need some service right there. Hot Coco always demanding. But congratulations to loyal listener Blake Granson. I saw the message come through, and Hot Coco was the one who decided who was going to win the $100. So, Blake, expect that money on your way to enjoy this wedding. Buckets, this is a way that we want to give back to our loyal listeners. We're not going to do it too often, but we do like to give back. And especially after the bounce back parlay hitting and you going fucking 5-1, we decided that it's time to give back to our loyal listeners.
It is time to give back because these are the loyal listeners that have stood with us since day one. Blake is not new to the loyal listener and freak army. He's been with us for a while, and we love seeing the comments of people just saying like, hey, I don't necessarily need the money, but I want to have some fun. I'm going to a wedding. I'm celebrating. Like, let us celebrate with you because you guys celebrate with us every single day when you're watching our show.
So congratulations. We will be doing more giveaways along the way. There were some great messages, some heartfelt messages, some really, really thought out messages as well, which I thought were spectacular, and I found it too difficult. So thank you for Hot Coco jumping in. More from her later on in the show. Buckets, you ready to get to some of the loyal listener comments before we proceed with the show? And my, oh my, this show was another banger of an episode. Over 5,000 views. We had, I think, almost 100 comments, which is absolutely ridiculous. Almost 200 likes. There were so many comments to go through. I didn't want to leave too many out. You ready?
Are you about to read 100 comments then?
No, I'm going to give you about 50. I'm just joking, not 50. Eric Gunnarsson, stick around. This is not for you. Let's get into it here. We've got jpan_5. Hell yeah, this is how you start my birthday. War cry on the birthday. Let's go. Happy birthday, Jpan. Buckets.
Happy birthday, J-Pen. J-Pen has been a long time listener and follower and supporter of all things the beautiful game. Happy birthday, buddy.
We've got Braxton jumping in and saying, have it. We go to Alvaro Dumancia. Hopefully, I've said your name correctly. Is it me, or does the blonde bombshell with his new workout physique look like Dolph Lundgren?
Yes.
Go get it, Mr. Buckets. Grrr. Do you know who Dolph Lundgren is? Have you heard that before?
If he dies, he dies, Ian. Yes, I know Dolph Lundgren, actually, which makes me very happy because I usually don't know these comparisons at all.
Do you think you actually look like Dolph Lundgren?
If I could put on another, 200 pounds of lean muscle, maybe. I also just don't have the jaw for it yet.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Producer Jeff has thrown a picture up and you can see the comparison. You look fucking nothing like Dolph Lundgren. He is a machine. You are a long way away from a machine. Let's go back to Alvaro. He said, what a funny and great show today. It had me spitting out my coffee. And then he had the smiley emojis, as you can see. Dick X. I love to see that one. Fuck you, Dick. C. Jeff. We've got C. Fedge. Epic rant from IPJ. Thank you very much. Nate G. Oh, this is a good one. The I'm a Jeff Heyman guy shirt is absolutely gold. I don't know if you caught this one, though, Buckets, but producer Jeff obviously put out the cookie rant and the cookie video and the cookie promos, the Girl Scouts cookies that we had, and he had his daughter in there, and she was wearing a producer Jeff shirt. Did you catch that?
I did see that. Yeah, that is, we're going to need to get that shirt out for everyone here eventually.
Do you think we should do that? Yeah, because producer Jeff, he's now a major part of the team. Do you think he's worthy enough of the shirt?
I think so, but we better get some IPJ and Buckets merch out there too, though. It can't be just Jeff.
Can you imagine? We just have a producer Jeff shirt out there. We don't even have
nothing else.
Nothing else. Just producer Jeff sold out in the store. Let's go to Pulisic Bets. Another great episode, boys. Love what you guys are doing for the soccer betting community. Keep up and great solid work. We've got a user with an unusual name saying another banger of a show. If you watch every week, you should be liking and commenting. Thank you very much for dropping in that. And if you are enjoying the content, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment. We go to Reed Phillips Rad. We are two beautiful looking men. It made me laugh so hard. The fart noises for every unlike was top notch. This show is so freaking fun. Buckets, what did you think of the entertainment from producer Jeff? Because he has a unique way.
Yeah, Jeff definitely has a unique way is a good way to put it. I'm a big fan of everything he's doing, and I really do believe that Jeff is already taking our show to the next level entertainment-wise.
No doubt about it. We are an entertainment show. We are not a sports betting show. We go to Adam Frey. Love to see the boys back. Been a pretty shitty week for me. Stoppage time makes it all better. Let's fucking go. Hashtag have it this weekend. Adam, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Hope your week is getting better. Hope you had a good weekend. I hope you betted with Buckets and I because you certainly made it profitable. But at the same time, we send in your love and, of course, a lot of passion your way so that you have a better week, Buckets.
Absolutely. I'm just I obviously had a pretty shitty week too, so I get where you're coming from, but I'm glad that we can help you be that escape because, as Ian said, we're an entertainment show. We're here to help kind of give you that release every once in a while.
Let's have a great weekend. Keep crushing it. Comes in from Scott Wise. Thank you, Scott. We appreciate you. We go Nico Svitkovic. I always say your name. Hopefully I say it properly here, Nico. We appreciate you. Fuck yeah, the boys. Another great episode. When you guys are ready for a proper derby rivalry, come on down to Eastern Europe. Few easy stops we can make that'll make you blow in your footy shorts. Would love to hear from Buckets a little bit how he started getting into football and IPJ, maybe a story here or there through the episodes of life as a proper player. German atmospheres compared to Scottish atmospheres. Cheers again, lads. Hashtag let's have it. Buckets, take it away. How the fuck did you get into betting for our boy Nico?
I got to go back and read that comment because I got a bunch of questions about what he just said. But Nico, I'll tell you how I got into soccer. I got into soccer a little bit blind luck, a little bit passion, a little bit of a lot of different things. I've only been watching the beautiful game now, as Ian knows, for about 2.5, 3 years. Growing up, I grew up in a home to where it was like, hey, American football is the way to go. We grew up as an Ohio State fan, so that was pretty much every weekend. That's all we did, with the exception of the World Cup. Every once in a while, I got to see a little bit of European footy in my household, mainly with my family yelling all the names of the fun to pronounce German footballers. I can't tell you growing up how many times I just heard my dad going, Schweinsteiger, from across the house. And so from that, I decided maybe I should learn what these guys do outside of playing in the World Cup. And over the past couple of years, I've really grown my love, starting with German football, and it's expanded to so many other countries.
We go to BS Fishing. Buckets dating life updates are always hilarious. Great show as always, fellas. Listening to you guys entailing certain picks, despite not watching any of the games, has made for a weirdly profitable betting sport. Dennis jumping in and saying, Buckets' dating life update should be its own series. Ha ha ha. Love it. Last one here from Joey D saying, we need a picture of the meal you cook for this wonderful lady. Buckets, these comments just opened up a bit of a door here. So let's talk about this wonderful lady. First and foremost, you cooked, if I'm not forgetting, was it what was it you made?
I attempted to make carbonara. It was described by many as non-edible though, so we ended up ordering pizza.
It was described by your date as non-edible.
by certain parties that will not be named. It was not the best carbonara they've ever had.
We also got a message there from Joy D saying we need a picture of your meal, but we did see certain messages saying we're also going to need to have some sort of proof that you are dating a beautiful female. Is there any chance the loyal listeners can see a photo anytime soon?
Well, Ian, we haven't had the chance to talk about this. I don't know if that this will be a continuing experience with said person, so that's okay. We move forward.
Onwards and upwards. The bucket man is back on the market.
I will say I'm still waiting to hear back on my application to be on The Bachelorette. Feeling pretty good that I could find love in that type of environment there as well.
We go to 11T Ladores Azul. Hopefully, I've said that right. I died with Buckets' dating life update at the end. Props to the editor. Shout out to PJ. We've got Dal Chamberlain saying, never get to watch it live, but love chilling on a Thursday night with a glass of Buffalo Trace and having my wife ask me why I'm cracking up. Great work, fellas. Hashtag have it. Hashtag producer Jeff Rocks. Hashtag Buckets date recap gonna be epic. Buckets, your thoughts?
What's Buffalo Trace? Is that whiskey?
I have no
What's
idea.
What's he drinking?
No, it's a drink of Buffalo Trace. I have no the fuck is Buffalo Trace. Jesus, let us know out there, please, Mr. Chamberlain, Dal Chamberlain. Anyway, we go to Soccer Ricky. Have it. We go to Blake Granson. Congratulations to break on the winnings. Bucket Man, you are the only person I would be hesitant to say break a leg this weekend. Good luck, brah.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, keep your what is it? Euphemisms? Is that the word? Just keep me out of this. I'm trying to stay healthy for a bit.
We go to Mark Thomas. He says, I take screenshots of the best bets and I have some fucking fantastic and hilarious stills of you dudes. We appreciate you. Bucket, should we give him another one? This one's for Mark Thomas. You ready?
Yep.
Enjoy that one, Mark. That's just for you. We've got Crystal jumping in and saying, love the energy and then show. Big fan of the BTTFS bets and the leans on the ATGSs when IPJ's eyes get really big. Best of luck on all your bets, everyone. Crystal, thank you so much for being a loyal listener. We fucking love you. We go to Montage Master. He says, this is some of the best content in sports betting, and just in general. Keep up the amazing work. Hashtag have it. We got James Murphy jumping in and saying, let's go, boys. Love the show. We've got Richard Salvucci saying the best in the business. We've got Anthony Bills jumping in and saying, I never cared for soccer until coming across Buckets a couple of years ago. Now seeing you two together is must-watch TV. Can't miss that show. That has growing my love for footy. Y'all are the best. Buckets?
We are the best, first and foremost. But second of all, how cool is that even though we're not a betting show, we're here for entertainment, we are getting people into the sport every single day, man. That's the best kind of stuff I hear.
On that note right there, I got a message, and it's a private message, which normally I wouldn't share private messages, but because it's producer Jeff, I'm going to fucking share it anyway, because I fucking love him. But he told me that his father, who is not a sports bettor, enjoys watching the show. This is what we're doing, Buckets. And we mentioned it out there on social media this week. We are not changing the game. We're creating our own fucking game. We're not competing against anyone here. We've got all the love in the world for all the sports cappers out there and for the people who are in the soccer betting space. We want them to be successful because that's only going to grow our show. We may be trying to compete in certain ways when it comes to betting and things like this, but our show is completely different from all of the other content I have seen out there. And clearly for people out there who are not bettors, they just want to be entertained. We are here for you, including producer Jeff's father. We've got G Zizzo saying, wow, thanks for the wins, especially the last one. I got Luton at plus 420. Did you see somebody get a ticket over plus 400 Buckets?
I did. I saw a couple tickets at plus 420. I saw one at plus 435. This was kind of all over the place, but hey, that's okay with me.
We've got Sergio Santos jumping in and saying, great show. If I could suggest a thing, I'd like to see some listeners' best bets on the show. Thanks and salute direct from Brazil. Because we already know we're international, even though you've never left the United States of America, we are international. What do you think of that idea? Because I'm working on something behind the scenes that I think is going to satisfy our friend Sergio.
Ooh, I think it's a great idea, and I want to know what you're working on behind the scenes now. But yes, Sergio, we could always use more wagers here on the show.
I'll introduce it on our next show, but I have something that I'm really intrigued about sharing with yourself, producer Jeff, and of course our loyal listeners. It's going to be somewhat of a giveaway, but it involves the loyal listeners sharing their thoughts. What would be the best bet? And at the end of the day, the loyal listeners are going to win. But then we got fucking Kyle.
Kyle. Parlay, Kyle. Kyle.
You guys fucking killed it with your picks this week. Awesome job. So that was good. Here's another parlay. This time for March 2nd. Leeds over 1.5 team total. Roma to win either half. And Braga Estrella over 2.5. Currently plus 280. Keep the hits coming, boys. Thanks to you both for the time and the entertainment and the knowledge that you both share. You're making a difference. Best of luck, everyone. Hashtag have it. Kyle, we fucking love you. Buckets, your thoughts.
We absolutely love Kyle, and he keeps hitting. So, like, we can't be mad at a guy that is consistently putting in parlays that are hitting every single show. I'm probably going to end up tailing it, Ian.
Kyle's got an unusual life story, and we appreciate our loyal listeners, and we want them to share their lives with us. Please, everybody, share messages, DMs, whatever it may be. We may not reply, but for sure, we always read everything, pictures, and whatever it may be. Just be obviously on the smart side of things that you share with us, because at any time we may share a story or two, and Kyle's story is definitely a unique one. So we appreciate you sending love to you, Kyle, as well. Last one, Buckets, you ready?
Let's do it.
Elias Ramirez Moreno. Thank you all for the profit this week. As always, get better soon, Buckets. Health always comes first. Could we get a few Bundesliga breakdowns in the next episode? BTTS hitting all games this past weekend. I missed that. I didn't see that. Exciting to see the MLS season pick up, and hoping we can get some picks as it heats up as well. Well, it just so happens, my good friend, Elias Ramirez Moreno, I have a friend who's pretty good at MLS picks. Take it away, Hot Coco.
Hi, boys. I'm back with your MLS pick of the week. After looking at all the games, there's one game that really stood out to me, and that was St. Louis City SC versus NYCFC. Ian, I know we are season ticket holders for NYCFC. We're huge fans, and I love them. But at plus 130 for St. Louis to win at home, how do you not take that against NYCFC? So I'm sorry, I'm not going to like it, maybe a little bit, but that's what I'm going for. Anyways, back to you guys.
Oh my God! Nicole, what are you doing to me? What the fuck, man? I can't take this shit, Buckets. I can't take this, man. Like, there is one rule out there that I have, Buckets. What is that rule that I have when it comes to betting?
You do not bet on your clubs, Ian.
Oh, my God. NYCFC, a club we support. Manchester United, a club I support. FC St. Pauli, a club I support. Don't bet for or against them. If you are going to bet, you bet for them. You never break the cardinal rule. Don't fucking bet against your team. God damn it. Even though I think she's onto a winner here.
She's betting with her wallet, not her heart, right? She's keeping emotions out of it.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell, man. Unbelievable, man. Listen, I haven't had an argument with Hot Coco for about a year. I can guarantee you there will be one tonight probably coming her way. Anyway, for our loyal listener who just asked for Bundesliga picks, Buckets, I figured we'd go through it very rapidly. Bundesliga match day 24. Take a look at this. Leverkusen top of the table on 61 points. Bayern Munich on 53 points. Stuttgart 47 points in third. Borussia Dortmund, producer Jeff's Borussia Dortmund on 41 points, sitting in fourth place right now, 1 point above Leipzig. And of course, both of those teams struggling this past weekend to pick up points. Dortmund and Leipzig, that is a battle to get into the Champions League, and Stuttgart providing some sort of a gap there. Then we have the bottom half of the table where Darmstadt on 13, Mainz on 15th, and Cologne on 17 pretty much seem like they're going to be battling it out to see who's automatically relegated or who's going to end up in that relegation playoff position. The fixtures this weekend, if you have a look at this: Freiburg on Friday against Bayern Munich, Bochum against Leipzig, Darmstadt against Augsburg, Heidenheim against Frankfurt. We've got Mainz against Gladbach, Union Berlin against Dortmund, Wolfsburg against Stuttgart. Then on Sunday, we've got Cologne against Leverkusen, who are the league leaders right now, and Hoffenheim against Werder Bremen. Buckets, just for our loyal listeners out there, could you please run through your scoreline predictions of every single game? Let's go.
All right, starting with Freiburg, Bayern Munich, I'm going 3-1 victory for Bayern Munich. Mainz, Gladbach, 2-2 draw. Berlin versus Dortmund, 1-2 victory to Dortmund. Got you, Jeff. Heidenheim versus Frankfurt, 1-1 draw. Darmstadt versus Augsburg, Augsburg winning 2-1. Bochum versus Leipzig, 3-1 to Leipzig. Wolfsburg, Stuttgart, 2-0 Stuttgart. Köln, Leverkusen, I've got Leverkusen winning to a scoreline of 2-1. And finally, Hoffenheim versus Werder Bremen, 1-1 draw, Ian.
I'm against you in many ways right here. I've got Freiburg 1, Bayern 3, so we're agreed on that one right there on the Friday game. But here's where it gets a little crazy. Bochum 2, Leipzig 2, Darmstadt 2, Augsburg 1, Heidenheim 3, Frankfurt 1. I've got Mainz 0, Gladbach 0. I totally took a chance on that one. No. I never go for nils when it comes to the Bundesliga. But something's telling me it's probably not going to happen, so don't bet it. But it would be crazy to see what that line is. Union Berlin 2, Borussia Dortmund 4, PJ, I got you. And then Wolfsburg 0, Stuttgart 1, Cologne 1, Leverkusen 3, Hoffenheim 3, Werder Bremen 2. Buckets, it's been pretty fun watching the Bundesliga this past weekend. Of course, BTTS hitting every single game. I don't see it happening this weekend. But there are been many superstars who have stood out to us. Do you have one player this particular weekend that we should be watching out for?
One player I want everyone to keep an eye on is going to be Julian Brandt for Borussia Dortmund there. He is leading the team in assists. He has the second most goals in the club, and he has been starting once again. Look at his to score or assist line because that has been plus odds all season long.
I'm going to the same game, John Buckets. I am actually looking at, and this is basically for Borussia Jeffert there because, of course, he's a loyal Borussia Dortmund fan, lives and breathes the club, and, of course, takes his family to games now. We did go to a game there as well, which was pretty fucking special. Even though I'm not a Dortmund fan, I do love the club. Nicholas Füllkrug, who's got 11 goals so far this season, frustrated this past weekend, didn't get his goal. He's currently sitting at plus 165 Buckets anytime goal scorer.
Plus 165?
That's fucking wild. I was like, what? Plus 165. You on it?
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm going to be placing that bet while we finish the show. That's a dumb line.
Well, before you get into it, Buckets, you know it wouldn't be an episode of our show Stoppage Time if we didn't get some best bets from the hottest fucking soccer bettor on the planet. That is my man, John Bucketimer. He is back in the big time with his bets after going 5-1 this past weekend. John Bucketimer is on a bit of a heater. He also cashed a ticket that was plus 400. That was Luton Town. Over 1.5 team total. They got fucking humiliated by Manchester City, but it didn't matter to our guy, John Bucketimer, because he cashed his plus 400 tickets. Buckets, I want 6 bets from you. I'm looking at Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And I'm looking to see you give me your best bet for Thursday first. Let's go.
All right, we set the bar pretty high with 5-1, but 5-1 can be beat. So let's do our best to do that this week. I'm going to be starting with the Coupe de France. This is the French Cup going on, taking place tomorrow afternoon. And I'm looking at a fun one here because you know how much I love a Cinderella story. I have Le Puy Fou 43 Auvergne versus Stade Rennes. Did I say any of those right? Probably not, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be cashing the ticket. Both teams to score is plus 120 in this matchup. And if you're looking at what's going to happen in this game, I think this could be a very Spakenburg-esque type of season for Le Puy Fou 43 right now. Stade Rennes is a much better club. They are in the top division of French football. Obviously, if they play all their starters, they could win this game and put in 7 or 8 goals, but that is not how they've been playing cup games. They are heavily rotating in their cup games, and they are conceding against clubs that they have no business conceding against. Meanwhile, Le Puy Fou is a 4th division French team. They're second in the 4th division, but 4 tiers down on the list of French football. This is a club that has no business even being at this point in the competition, but they are scoring goals, they're winning games, and they're playing with that attitude that we saw with Spakenburg or that we saw with even Luton Town this past week. They just don't give a damn. They know they're the underdogs. They'll get at least 1 goal for their home fans. Again, they might lose this game 4-1, but both teams to score at plus 120 is something I will take every single time in a matchup like this.
Listen, you know I'm going to tell your bet, but at the same time, I'm just going to throw this out there. I watched Stade Rennes or Rene or Ren, whatever the fuck you want to pronounce it, because Bucket sounds like he's ordering a meal at a French restaurant when he's talking about these teams. I watched them against PSG. They gave up a goal in the last kick of the game. It was a penalty kick, and they deserved to beat PSG in that game. Kylian Mbappe got substituted in the 67th minute or something like that and got booed in the stadium. Ooh. But I do feel you. Listen, I think you've got the bug with this goal scoring from teams who are on the lower side of the table, and I've got nothing to lose. I love those types of bets because I always love the underdog. Let's go to Friday.
Friday, we're going to a really tough match taking place in La Liga as Celta Vigo are hosting Almeria. And this is a matchup where you have Celta Vigo, who is 17th on the table, desperately trying to stay out of the relegation zone, taking out Almeria, who is a side who has yet to win a single game in the top flight this season. They have played 26 matches, 0 wins, 9 draws, 17 losses. Almeria is in a position where if they don't start winning and winning right freaking now, then bye-bye their chances of staying in La Liga. They're going back to Segunda División via relegation. I'm looking at this matchup. I know Almeria right now has nothing to play for. They're going to go for goals again. I love the Buckets Classics. Both teams to score is minus 110. And Almeria is putting up a fight right now against clubs way better than them. They drew 2-2 against Atletico Madrid, 1-1 against Granada, 0-0 against Athletic Club. This is a team that is scraping for points, but when they have a chance to get 3 and to get that first win against Celta Vigo, I think we see a lot of goals in this one. And BTTS at minus 110 again feels a little bit like a gift.
I fucking love this bet because Celta Vigo, I watched them at the weekend. They were very good. Luca de la Torre, I think it was, played well. Johnny Cardoso, I can't even remember. Was he playing for Celta? Anyway, I will move on to the fact that Almeria are a team that are entertaining to watch, but they also score goals against some of the biggest teams. If you go back through their games, Buckets already pointed out they scored 2 against Atletico Madrid, but you only have to go back to, when was it? They played Barcelona December 20th. They lost that game by 3-2, but still scored 2 fucking goals against them. And then they went to the Bernabeu and scored 2 fucking goals against Real Madrid as well. That was on January 21st. And by the way, Carvajal scored in the 90th plus 9 minute in that game just to beat Almeria. So they're not giving up anything just now. They're fighting for their fucking lives right now, and they're giving everything they possibly have to try and stay in the division, even though they haven't won a fucking game. And just go ahead and just confirm it here. We did see Celta Vigo 2-2 against Cadiz this past weekend. I thought they were fucking awesome. Luca de la Torre got an assist that game. That's where I was going. Let's go to Saturday.
Saturday, I'm going to France Ligue 2. So we're staying in the French kind of mentality here. And I'm looking at a big matchup between Auxerre, who is hosting, dude, I need to practice these names more. Valenciennes is what we're going to call them. This is first on the French 2 table, taking on 20th on the French 2 table. The absolute best that the second division has to offer versus the absolute worst. And Auxerre right now is already climbing. They're 4 points top of the table. This is a team that are a couple wins away from getting that promotion back to the top flight of France. And right now they have just looked so good. A couple weird draws here and there. They drew 1-1 to Bastia. They drew 2-2 to Pau. But this is a team that has way too much firepower to be stopped. 51 goals in 26 matches, playing the worst scoring team in the entire division. I wanted to take the money line. That's minus 300. So what instead I'm doing is taking Auxerre first half money line at minus 125. This is the kind of matchup where you go up 2-0 early, then you rest some players, you get 3 points, and you move ahead to next week.
I feel like we're doing a linguistic class with John Time. Every single fucking bet you've gone for, you are in a language of hell. So I can guarantee you our loyal listeners are having fun out there. And maybe, just maybe, producer Jeff can create something special, a 30-second clip of Bucket's fucking names up here. Auxerre are the names. And by the way, they're a famous club in French football. I do enjoy watching them, and I love to see them top of the table right now. So thanks for putting that bet on my radar. Where are you going on Sunday? Can we get a name that you can actually pronounce?
Sunday, Manchester City versus Manchester United. Take me to the Manchester Dart. Uh-oh. Listen, Coco did it. Now I have to do it. I'm just siding with Hot Coco. We're betting against Ian's clubs today. So blame Coco for this one, not me. Listen, Ian, I just watched whatever the hell that was when Man City played Luton Town, and KDB had 4 assists and Haaland had 5 goals. And I'm looking at this matchup thinking that, hey, this is the kind of game, because it's a derby, Pep has to start his best 11, which means Pep has to start Kevin De Bruyne. And Kevin De Bruyne to have an assist in this match is almost even money. It is minus 105 right now. I'm not saying that City will win. Maybe they lose this game 1-5 and Ian can be happy. But right now, if you're looking at KDB and you're not betting him to have at least one assist every game, you're missing out on free money here. He has been so good since he's came back. And when him and Haaland are on the pitch together, it is devastating. Take his assist every single week, even at minus 105.
Yeah, pretty crazy to see Erling Haaland get a hat-trick yesterday so quickly for Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne with 3 assists, Erling Haaland with a hat-trick immediately. I mean, before the game even kicked off, that fucking happened. I hate, obviously, listening to Buckets go against or for my teams. I'd rather him stay away, but he doesn't. He decides to go to the wild side. But if you look at the fixtures coming up for Manchester City, they have Manchester United, then they've got the Champions League return leg against Copenhagen on Wednesday before they travel to Anfield. And then they've got Arsenal on March 31st before they play Aston Villa. So if you look at what, 1, 2, 3, 4, the top 4 going head to head, top 5 teams going head to head over the next 5 games for Manchester City, 6 games Brighton as well, if you throw in there. It's fucking wild. So they're going to have to rotate their team as much as they possibly can. I love this bet. Obviously, please make sure that players are in the starting 11 before you place this bet. But fucking hell, Buckets, man. It's a great bet. And of course, Manchester City scoring the goals that they are right now, even Manchester United cannot stop them scoring goals. This is going to be a very difficult game for United, as will it be for Liverpool, as will it be for Arsenal and Aston Villa that's coming up for them around the corner as well. Okay, let's go into Monday.
Going into Monday, I'm again going to an EPL fixture here. I've got Sheffield United hosting Arsenal, and this is the kind of matchup to where I love this game because I love goals. I want to be greedy here. I want to bet the over and not give a damn about what else happens. I'm going over 3.5 goals in this match, which is currently priced at plus 105. Once again, giving us those sexy plus numbers we love so much. I am looking at Arsenal, and take away the weird Porto match in which they didn't have a single shot on target and looked dead in that match. Their fixtures in Premier League have been incredible. 4-1 win over Newcastle, 5-0 over Burnley, 6-0 over West Ham, 3-1 over Liverpool. This is a team that is scoring for fun, and their stats reflect that. 62 goals already in their 26 matches, playing a Sheffield United side that has the worst defensive record in all of Premier League. But they have to go for goals. If you're Sheffield and you're fighting for relegation, it puts you in a position where your back is against the wall. They're going to have to get it, or they're going to have to attack, and Arsenal will rip them to pieces on the counter. Arsenal could cover this by themselves, but on the off chance that Sheffield contribute, I'm taking it safe and taking over 3.5.
No comment from me. Let's go to Tuesday.
Ooh, I like when there's no comment from you on that. Tuesday, we have a Champions League fixture. We do have a little bit of Champions League back in action. I'm looking at the second leg of the matchup between Real Madrid and RB Leipzig. You guys know how much I love my Bundesliga sides. You know how much I want to see them succeed. And I was very disappointed when I saw them fall short in that first leg because it was a bit of a bizarre first leg. Real Madrid won 1-0, but in that game, Leipzig had 9 shots on targets, 14 shots. Real Madrid had 15-3. That was a game that I believe could have probably seen 2, 3, or 4 goals. And that is what I think we see in the second fixture. Leipzig have to go for it. They're down in aggregate scoring. Expect them to attack. Expect Lois Openda to do something this time. And I'm expecting to see goals here. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at minus 115. I don't know who's going to win this match. Probably Real Madrid, but give me action on both sides here.
You had one job to do, Buckets. One job only. That's are you okay with that? Like I normally give you like the role. You can go wherever you want. You can go whatever league you want. But the job is like you've got to put bets on that day. When does that game take place?
Tuesday.
When does that game take place?
Shit, Wednesday. No.
He's done it again.
How did
He's
wait?
done it again. I can't believe it.
Way.
Yeah, man. Because you decided to skip over Bayern Munich against Lazio and Real Sociedad against PSG on the Tuesday. You went straight into the Wednesday best bet. It doesn't matter. It's fine. The loyal listeners out there will have to go to social media to get a best bet for Tuesday. But at the same time, I want producer Jeff to fucking rip you in the graphics for once again getting the date wrong. Are you ready for my best bet this weekend? Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm ready for yours.
This one I'm calling the goals IPGA best bet. Buckets jump bets. We did it again.
Let's go. Arsenal.
I'm going to Sheffield United against Arsenal. Sheffield United on the money line plus 1,400. Arsenal minus 600 on the money line. My best bet here is over 3.5 total goals in the game. As Buckets pointed out, the line will move drastically, but I managed to put it on at plus 105 on my sport book, so make sure you don't miss out. To me, this is only going to miss if Sheffield United don't decide to attack in this game, because there's no other way that this will miss. We got to talk about goals in England right now, because Buckets pointed out how important it is to see Arsenal and Sheffield United scoring goals, but I want to talk about something unique that is happening in the Premier League right now. It's phenomenal. It caught my attention, and nobody's talking about it. The Premier League has played 258 games so far. They are averaging in the Premier League 3.23 goals per game. That is the highest average in all of the top 5 European leagues. If you look at the Bundesliga, 3.15 goals per game. If you go to Spain and La Liga, it's 2.64 goals per game. Then you go to Serie A in Italy, 2.62 goals per game. And then in France, it's fucking miserable in 2.54 goals per game. We don't even include them in the top 5 European leagues anymore. But at the same time, something special is happening in the Premier League. Okay, now to the game. Arsenal, third in the Premier League, 2 points behind Liverpool, who are in first place. 26 games played, won 18, drawn 4, lost 4. Scored 62 goals so far this season. Only Liverpool have scored more goals than the Arsenal. They have scored 63 goals, which is 1 more. Away from home, they've played 13, won 8, drawn 2, lost 3. Scored 28 goals on the road. Only Manchester City have scored as many goals with 28 as well. Hi, Freya. Since January 20th, this is where it gets interesting. They have played 6 Premier League games. They have won all 6 Premier League games. They have scored an immensely impressive 25 goals in those 6 games and conceded only 3. Over 3.5 total goals has hit in 5 of their last 6 games. Arsenal have scored 11 goals in their last 2 away games in the Premier League alone. If that's not enough to convince you, here's a little bit more. Let's talk about Sheffield United. They're shit. Bottom of the Premier League. 13 points, 26 games played, lost 19, scored 22, let in 66 goals. At home this season, they have played 13 games. They've won only 2. They have drawn only 2. They have lost 9, scored 12, and conceded a ridiculously 36 home goals this season. If that's not enough to convince you, listen to this. In 2024 alone, over 3.5 total goals has hit in 7 of their 8 games across all competitions. The last game was the one that didn't hit. It was 1-0. A loss at Wolves. The last 2 home games, they have conceded 10 goals. The last 3 home games across all competitions, Sheffield United have conceded 15 goals. A little interesting side play for people out there who like to take a risk and are looking for plus numbers. Sheffield United to get a single goal in this game is currently sitting at plus 100. So everybody, please bet responsibly. I went the extra mile for all of you because I fucking love you. Buckets, your thoughts?
I love everything that you just said. And it's so rare that we're on the same play just straight up like this, especially when you have so many games taking place over that entire week here. But I love it. And the fact that you're on it as well means that I am absolutely putting at least a second unit on this one too. That's going to be a big play for me.
Yeah, as Buckets pointed out there, we never talk about our bets before we come into the show. We just go with it and then see where we're at. And if we do hit it, and it does occasionally happen, I think we've probably done 150 shows now, Buckets, something like that. And maybe we've had it 4, 5 times maximum. And you think of how many games we've gone at, it's been ridiculous that we've only hit about 5 times the same fucking bet. And if I'm not mistaken, we've only missed on 1 of those bets. The other 4 we hit. So it's pretty crazy. But this has been another great show, Buckets. Another great opportunity for us to get together and create content for our loyal listeners out there. A big shout out to producer Jeff for everything that he's doing right now. Borussia Dortmund need a victory this weekend because they got fucking humiliated by Hoffenheim this past weekend. Disappointment, conceding 2 late goals. I thought they were going to win that game. They may have lost me a few units in that game as well. So fuck you, Dortmund. But at the same time, we're expecting a bit of a bounce back, not only for producer Jeff, but also for the Bundesliga, the top 4 race, because I did put out that future that Dortmund would finish in the top 4. They're in a battle with Leipzig right now. Buckets, your plans for this weekend? What are you up to?
My plans for this weekend are to watch as many games that I can and kind of just keep it low key, no stress, just chilling this weekend. What about you?
Any chance of you staying out of a hospital this weekend?
Odds are currently minus 110, so it's possible. I hope so, man. Holy hell.
Listen, we wish you well, and obviously are glad that you're doing okay, and obviously capable of doing a show with us here on Stoppage Time. We appreciate you. But I just want to throw everything out there for our loyal listeners. Buckets is available to everybody on the early edge. You can catch that where Buckets.
You can catch that on YouTube on the Sportsline YouTube channel. I'm on there every day of the week except for Wednesday.
You can catch me on CBS Sports Galazzo Network. It is a 24-hour free channel. You can jump on there any given time, and you can watch me on Scoreline this weekend. I've got a few days off, which is fucking great. I rarely take days off. I don't like taking days off. Mentally, it doesn't help me. I like to be at work, which is why I'm here with all you fucking loyal freaks. But at the same time, you can catch me this weekend. I will be back in the studio on Friday, and I will be in the studio for 6 consecutive days on Scoreline. You can catch it from 5 p.m. onwards. It goes through the night. I will be there all the way through the weekend as well, with highlights, with analysis, with some craziness. We are actually implementing a few betting lines as well, which has been interesting to me. So please make sure you jump on CBS Sports Galazzo Network and join me there. Buckets, we need a lot from our loyal listeners. We don't ask for much, but what we do need from them is to subscribe. We need them to like. We need them to comment, because it means the world to us. Fucking Freya, man.
Dude,
Freya thought so too.
Now Freya said that why aren't more people sharing the show and commenting? Freya, it's okay, buddy. They'll do it. I trust them. No, absolutely. Comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, like with it, share it with your dog. It'll help calm her down, I'm sure, here. But couldn't be more grateful for the support we've already gotten.
YouTube, we definitely need those numbers to grow. Obviously, we've been so impressed. And I feel like we're getting carried away with it, because me and Buckets had absolutely zero expectations. We only cared if 1 or 2 people watched the show. We didn't expect to see 5, 6, 7,000 people watching our show. And obviously, if you look at the impressions over the month, I mean, it's consistently over 700,000-800,000 impressions across social media on X alone, which is Twitter, formerly fucking known as. Don't even know what to fucking call it anymore. But we are out there with our content. We're putting daily content out there on our social media platforms. Don't just follow Twitter. Go and follow on Instagram. Buckets needs to do more on TikTok. We just need to be active, and we're going to consistently bring that for you. So please make sure you're following across the social media platforms, especially on X, where we are obviously growing a real great community over there. We have been live on there a number of times as well. But for YouTube in particular, we want to get as close to the 5,000 subscribers as possible. Keep pushing the show. People, we appreciate you. The comments, the likes, the loves. It means the fucking world to us. So please make sure you do it. But for just myself, keep the comments coming, because those are what get me a little turned on. So keep those comments coming, because I appreciate everybody out there. Can we get some more females jumping in the comments? Shout out to Crystal for jumping in this weekend. I would like more people jumping in the comments. Not any X's from Buckets. We don't need any of that bullshit out there. Swipe right, whatever it may be. Please make sure you're watching and sharing as much as you possibly can. Buckets, last word from you before we get out of here.
My last word from me is going to... You have something?
No, I'm just handing you the floor.
I want to see... I want to see IPJ as turned on as possible. So jump in the comments and make sure you contribute towards that. Thank you again to everyone for the support, guys. It means the world to us. And just remember that we are not changing the game. We're creating our own game together every single week with you guys.
You're making Dick very angry by talking like that, Buckets. You're talking about turning on another man. That doesn't make Dick very happy. Dick's a dick for a reason, okay? He's homophobic, okay? So let's be careful with how you're talking about it. No, for the community that we have grown here, everybody's welcome. We want people to feel safe in our environment, so please make sure you comment. And if you have any abuse on our social media platforms, let us know. We rarely see it, if any. But I have noticed out there, Buckets, that the betting space is becoming increasingly popular, with people out there creating burner accounts to try and fish you into a comment. Have you noticed this? Because I have noticed that there's been multiple people out there trying to fish me in with a comment. And when I go look at their profile, because sometimes I do it, it seems to me that there's a burner account action going on there. Do you notice that often?
Oh, yeah, man. You do not know the kind of burner accounts I've had to deal with. The best thing you can do is just ignore them. But it's funny. There used to be an account that I blocked this guy on Twitter when I first got started. And the new account that followed me was just Buckets is dumbass. And it was the exact same guy commenting the exact same thing spelled wrong on every single post. So I've learned to ignore them, but there's been a lot lately. That's for sure.
Welcome into a segment I'd like to call Storytime with Ian. I'll share a story for Nico, our good friend there, who asked for some soccer stories. I remember when I scored in the Bundesliga, I scored a very good goal. Producer Jeff actually put it on our show, our Bundesliga show, maybe about 400 times just for my happiness. We showed that goal. That was great. But I scored a goal against Augsburg in the second Bundesliga, and I will never forget this. This is something not too dissimilar from social media, but in fact, when you're a footballer, you hear shit when you're on the pitch. And there was this fucking guy who was yelling in my fucking ear when I'm out there. I'm playing left back, trying to get the ball, and I was having a bad game, Buckets. Fuck me. I was just not playing well. I was like one of those guys who were just like the ball would bounce up and away from me. The attacker would close me down for like 15 minutes. I couldn't get into the game, and I could hear this fucking guy in the crowd behind me. Joy! Fucking get it together. Joy, what are you doing? Joy, come on, we need you. Joy, that's fucking shit. Joy. And I thought, motherfucker, man. I just wanted this guy to shut the fuck up so I could concentrate on my game. Because sometimes mentally you can feel like you're untouchable on the field, but you do hear things. There's like 20,000 fans at the stadium, and I was obviously trying to impress everybody. Anyway, I decided to say fuck it. Right? Similar to what I do on our show and similar to what I do on most of my shows, I say fuck it a lot. I do what I want to do. I went left back to left midfield and decided to make a run in behind the right back. I didn't have the ball, and I watched my center midfielder, Fabian Ball, who's a legend at St. Pauli, clip the ball over the top of the last defender. And Buckets, my fucking mentality led me to volley this ball 100% with everything I had. Because of the anger of that motherfucker who was in the crowd shouting at me, I smashed his ball. Unfortunately enough, it went in the back of the net. And what did I proceed to do? I proceeded to run back to where that fucking guy was to find him in the fucking crowd. So everybody out there on social media, remember stories like that. You may not feel like you're hurting feelings, but be careful, protect the community. And what we have built with Stoppage Time is something special, is something unique that we're trying to protect as much as we possibly can. And as we continue to grow and get bigger and better, we will always make sure we keep our loyal listeners safe as much as we possibly can, Buckets.
I love everything about that story. And you're the kind of guy to where, like, even if I was making a burner, I'm not tweeting shit at Ian because he will find me. He will go out of his way to make sure that, you don't get off easy. So I do like the story. I like the parallel to how that is kind of in our everyday lives on social media, but just be careful out there too. It's a crazy place.
It is a crazy place. And speaking of craziness, before we do get the fuck out of here, because we're pushing 1 hour for our show and Eric Gunnarsson's already fucked off. Quick dating life update. I know you gave us one, but what's the progression going forward? Because the loyal listeners demand, I have to ask the question, Buckets. I mean, are we back on the dating apps now?
I think we're not going to be back on the dating apps for a couple of days. You kind of got to take a step back and go, you know what? That was a good experience. Make sure I'm happy. I'm still loving myself. And then you try again. But right now, just a couple of days of, okay, self-love's not the right word, but you know what I'm trying to say. I just got to look out for number one for a little bit.
Buckets, we fucking love you, man. Great show as always. Congratulations on your amazing betting week. We obviously talked about it in the betting space. It can happen. You go up and down this roller coaster. But the most important message we're trying to put out there to everybody is please, for the love of God, bet responsibly. Like, subscribe, comment on our show on YouTube. Share the show as much as you possibly can because it means the fucking world to us. We're doing our best here, everybody. We're making sure we bring you the best possible show we can. We're desperately in movement mode right now where we are working together with producer Jeff to get the best content we possibly can imaginable. And I hope everybody out there is enjoying the show because what producer Jeff has brought to the show is something unique and special. He has a vision like nobody else I've ever worked with before. And I love the way the show is going. And it has caught the attention of a few people who have the power to change our show forever. So Buckets, we're going to keep doing our great work. We're going to continue to push forward for our loyal listeners out there, and we're going to make sure that we go in the right directions. Last comments from you.
I am very excited to see what the future of Stoppage Time has for us both here, Ian. But I know one thing's for certain is whatever the future is, it is going to be with you, me, and Jeff, and every single one of the loyal listeners because we are here for the people, and we have been since day one. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Something dangerous happened today. Hot Coco decided to go against me. She's gone against NYCFC this weekend. Bet responsibly, everybody. But my, oh my, My, oh my. I hope that NYCFC get that victory so that I can throw it back at her. You were wrong about this one. I'm probably going to be wrong myself, but at the same time, I hope everybody bets responsibly out there. Hey, everybody, we love you. Thank you so much for watching the show, Buckets. I appreciate you. Producer Jeff, I appreciate you. Make sure everybody out there this weekend, when you're betting responsibly, make sure you absolutely have it!